Yesterday we got the brand new trailer and the final trailer to Avatar: The Way of Water, and it seems like there is no way to stop the marketing train, because earlier today we got not just one but two brand new short teasers on Instagram, which is essentially filled with new content. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day, and many of you sent me the links on DM, sent me the videos on DM on Instagram, as the original sources are from an advert from the official Avatar Instagram account. So in this video I want to break down the brand new footage we got from both of the promotional teasers, and even though each teaser is just 30 seconds, there is a surprising amount of content to break down. Now, starting at the very beginning of one of these teasers, you can see that something massive, something destructive is happening there, because you can see, if you look at the bottom there of this image, you can see at the middle it looks like the reflective light of a river. It seems like there's a river in the middle, and on the right there it seems like there is a massive forest fire. Now this is only like a split second that it shows on this teaser, so it doesn't really go into detail as to what this is, but my guess is that this is the RDA using something, I'm not quite sure what it is, but something really powerful on the Metkayina clan's homelands, and I'm guessing this is the reason why Jake and Neytiri is essentially forced to leave their homes. Like I said, you can see there in the middle, it does look like a river, it does look like the light is reflecting off the water there right in the middle, and based on the light on the right side, like I said, it does look like a forest that is on fire, and given that we've seen that scene in the main trailer of the forest fire where Jake and Neytiri looks on the forest burning, I'm guessing this is part of that scene. This is what causes, it essentially causes the fire and what causes the destruction. You can just see, like I said, this is a very low quality video, so you can't really zoom in much with it, because it's just, like I said, it's just very low quality. So if you zoom in more, it is going to be even more blurry, because this is an Instagram ad, so it's not the highest quality, but whatever the RDA is using here is certainly one powerful weapon, one thing that causes a lot of destruction. And going on to the next scene, you can see that Jake and Neytiri is looking on at something in distress. You can see both of them are looking up in the sky, again probably indicating that they're looking at this thing, or this RDA weapon that's in the sky, that this is just causing this destruction in their homeland. Because even if you look at their outfits, it matches the ones, if you look at the part around Neytiri's neck and what Jake's wearing, he's hardly wearing anything, and it matches with that scene again where the forest is on fire. It matches with that scene. Then moving on to the next scene, we've got quite an intimidating look at the sea dragon, and you can see there at the top are two of the sea wasps, which we know are Tulkun spotters, which is mainly used for Tulkun spotting, and they do have weapons. We've seen them shoot in the final trailer, so we know they are weaponized. But here is just another intimidating look at the sea dragon being close, and you can just see the power. It is almost hovering out of the water, not quite flying, because it's I'm guessing it's just too heavy to fly. It's like a hovercraft, so it's hovering over the water, and it just looks, it almost reminds me, if you look at it quickly, you see it has this mouth part, which I like to call the front mouth, essentially, because it kind of opens up, and it's just an intimidating thing, because we know based on the ships, the sea wasps, excuse me, they are quite big. They're quite big crafts, and you can just see how small they are compared to the sea dragon. So we know this sea dragon is quite a massive beast. The next shot is our first look at General Ardmore, and although we've seen a behind the scenes photos of her on set, essentially she is basically replacing Quaritch in command, and she's essentially the new leader of the RDA. And even this shot alone kind of reminds me of Quaritch from the first movie. She is even holding a cup, which again, everything about this shot just reminds me of Quaritch from the first movie, and it's been told that she's going to have quite an intimidating presence in The Way of Water. So it'll be interesting to see where her character goes, but more interesting to see how Quaritch gets along with her, or maybe don't get along with her, because we know Quaritch isn't one to easily take orders. So if she outranks Quaritch, it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic play out. See that in maybe at the end, Quaritch being stronger and being a recom knows he doesn't really need to take orders anymore. So maybe it'll be interesting arc if he goes rogue, but that is a discussion for another time. The next one is of an image we've seen in the teaser trailer, and that is the recoms, as well as a human in one of those exosuits walking at the RDA base. Then we just see a shot of Loak, which again we've seen in one of the teaser trailer, or the very first teaser trailer. Then we're treated with a shot of essentially RDA going full force. You can see the sea dragon is right there at the back, fully opened. You can see some of its interior, which matches up with those shots we've seen in the main trailer. And right there we see two smaller ships and one big ship. I believe the one with the yellow stripe is called the Matador, whereas the two smaller ones in the front is called the Picador. We then hear Neytiri asking Jake what's our plan, and I'm guessing this takes place after the Metkayina forest is left in ruins. And then we see another scene we've seen in the teaser trailer of the kids running on the branches, and then we got to see a different look of Neytiri and Took as they're flying to the Metkayina reef. You can see Neytiri is wearing a blanket, which we see is wrapped around Took in a different angle or a different shot as they're flying on the banshees, because you can see the banshee wing there, and of course based on the flow of their hair you can also see that they are in fact flying on one of the banshees. We then get a shot of Lo'ak and Payakan, which we've seen multiple times before, and then we get a brand new shot of a Metkayina warrior, essentially a Metkayina member, blowing on the horns, which looks to be some sort of seashell, and this is likely to announce the arrival of the Sully family, as the shot thereafter we see the shot of the Sully family arriving at the Metkayina reef, which we've seen multiple times as well. We then get to see a shot of Jake, and looking at the background you can see there are two Metkayina warriors, and you can also see based on the way the building or the structure is behind him, this is certainly at the Metkayina tribe. And then we're treated to a scene where Kiri gives an Ilu a quick hug. I'm guessing this is an extension of the scene where she essentially bonds with the Ilu for the first time, which we've seen in the final trailer yesterday. And then we see Lo'ak hugging Payakan. Again, this is part of the scene where he meets Payakan for the first time, and one of the mid-credits scenes from Avatar Remastered. This was in fact the one that I saw when I watched Avatar Remastered in the IMAX. We see then the Metkayina warriors with the skim wings, which we've seen in one of the previous trailers. Then we see Lo'ak and Payakan as Lo'ak is pointing up to something at the night. I'm not entirely sure what he's pointing at. Maybe he's pointing at Jake and Neytiri flying with their banshees, coming to find him or coming to rescue him. I'm not entirely sure what he's pointing at. There could be multiple things that he's pointing at, but this is certainly a brand new scene that we've not yet seen before. And then we're treated to a scene where we see Jake, Neytiri, and Moat, where Jake is holding a baby Navi, and this could possibly be his firstborn, his first child, so Netaim. And you can also see that the outfit Jake is wearing here is the same outfit Neytiri's father wore, and also the outfit from the art book page, which we've seen a couple of weeks ago, indicating that Jake is in fact the leader of the Metkayina clan. And then here we can just see some RDA soldiers getting ready for battle, which looks to be on top of the Matador. And then we get a different shot of Jake jumping out of the water with a skim wing, and here is Neytiri talking about protecting the people, the line her father told her when he gave her this bow, followed by a stunning shot of Neytiri getting ready to fly away with the banshee. As you can see, she's holding the bow that she just had in the previous scene, but also you can see based on the background that this is at the Metkayina reef, followed by an incredible shot of quite a few skim wings. I'm not sure how many there is. There's likely more than a dozen skim wings getting ready for battle. But what's interesting about this shot, if you look at the far end there, right, almost at the top left corner, you can see that that is in fact the sea dragon, or at least it looks like the sea dragon, which gives me the indication that the RDA probably planned this assault for quite a while, and it was likely them that initiated the final battle. Then we see Jake on top of a skim wing as he's throwing a spear, and right before, at the beginning of the scene, you can see some sort of explosion happening on the right hand side of the screen there, probably one of the RDA ships blowing up. And here you get one of the most intimidating scenes of the sea dragon just lifting up out of the ocean, probably what happens when this thing picks up speed with the Matador at the bottom. Now we know based on the amount of RDA soldiers on top of the Matador, you can see the Matador is quite big. You can see there's quite a few soldiers sitting on that ship, and you can see how small that thing is compared to the sea dragon. Just gives me this indication that the sea dragon is much bigger than what it looks in the trailer. Again, this thing lifting out of the ground is almost like a dragon just lifting off the air. It kind of reminds me of one of those scenes in Game of Thrones where you see one of the dragons just lifting off, and you see the destruction that it causes, this massive thing. And I mean, if I see that thing coming towards me in the ocean, I will certainly be scared. And it just really shows the force of the RDA, the research, and how they really came prepared this time, and definitely gives me the impression that we're going to see quite a few losses this time around. Then we see the Matador again firing on the ocean, and you can see right in the front is some sort of harpoon, likely used on the Tulkuns, and could possibly be one of the harpoons that Lo'ak removes from Payakan, as seen in that extended scene at the end of Avatar Remastered. This shot right here is quite interesting because not only do we see quite a few Tulkuns, but the Tulkun in the front has some sort of short tattoo around his mouth, giving me the indication that this could possibly be the toolkun of Tonowari, mainly because it has the tattoos, and I've not really seen many other toolkuns with tattoos, so this could possibly be his, essentially his spirit brother, as indicated by the art book, where the Metkayina does have a toolkun spirit brothers and sisters. So this could be the toolkun that Tonowari has bonded with, and I'm really curious to see Tonowari with this toolkun in action. We then get quite an incredible shot, and it's unfortunate that this video is so low quality, because I would love to see this in higher quality, at least 1080p instead of, you know, whatever quality this is. But we see one of those ships, the Picador, getting just wrecked completely by one of the toolkuns. You can see that it lifts it up in air, just knocks it out of the park, out of the water, no pun intended, completely. And you can see there on the right hand side is part of the Sea Dragon, and it's almost as if it's knocking the ship on top of the Sea Dragon. And then finally it cuts to the title, Avatar: The Way of Water. Experience it in 3D December the 16th. Then moving on to the other 30-second ad, all of the images there, all of the footage there is stuff that we've seen before, and all of the brand new footage in that teaser or that 30-second ad is what I've spoken about already. But right at the end there, we have a bit of a different look. We have some new footage where we can see quite a few new, or quite a lot of skimwings getting ready for action. And then we also see Neytiri with possibly Tirea at the bottom there. Could be Ronel, but I think it is Tirea. I'm not quite sure, but you can see Neytiri on the Banshee with the Metkayina warriors on their skimwings at the bottom. Again, probably getting ready for that Sea Dragon that is about to reach their shores. So overall, based on these two 30-second ads, it's almost as if we got more footage from these two short ads than what we got from the final trailer yesterday. Regardless, with the marketing train, like I said, having left the station, going full steam ahead, we're likely going to see a lot of these kind of ads, these short 20-30 second ads here and there with small snippets of new footage in between. And if you want to be on media blackout on this completely, then I would recommend that you try and mute a few words on social media. But regardless, we're likely going to get quite a few new spots of these TV spots, short ads, and yet it still feels like there's so much we've not yet seen. But I mean, I'm happy that we've not been spoiled in that sense, but over time, you know, a lot of stuff is getting shown more and more, so just be wary when you start to watch stuff on the internet about Avatar. But let me know in the comments below what you think of these two brand new TV spots, or these two new adverts. And for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.